Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. So yeah, don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, man, sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about Impact Wrestling Emergence for August 20th, 2021, and also AEW Rampage for August 20th, 2021. So yeah, man, both of these shows, man, oh my gosh, man, what a night of wrestling, bro. What a night of wrestling. Impact Wrestling X Division Championship match was the best match on the show. And as for AEW Rampage, you know, the CM Punk showing up on the Rampage, man, crowd was going crazy, man. I was going crazy. Everybody was going crazy, man. I'm telling you. It was a feel good moment, a really feel good moment for Punk. You know, making his return to wrestling after 7 years, man. After saying that he'll never come back to wrestling, and to just see him come back, bro, and like to see the tears come down his eyes, man. Dude, I got goosebumps, man. I'm still getting goosebumps, still talking about it, and you know, man. But I'm gonna talk about Rampage right after I'm done talking about Emergence. So I'm gonna talk about Emergence first. You know, Emergence was a great show. You know, as I said earlier, you know, the X Division Championship match between Josh Alexander and Jake something was probably the best match on the show for me. You know, I just love the back and forth that these guys had and that never say die attitude that Jake had while he was competing against Josh Alexander. And you know, it's just a great night of wrestling, man, from both companies, from both Impact and both AEW, man. Great wrestling. Can't say the same thing about SmackDown, but you know, Impact and AEW, man, really great shows tonight. And so yeah, man, and so yeah, I'll be doing double duty tonight on this show. Be doing double duty. And so yeah, man. So first we'll be talking about Impact Wrestling Emergence, and we started off the show with Matt Cardona with Chelsea Green versus Rohit Raju with Shera. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys haven't done it already, man, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded because I'm here every single week, man. So yeah, so we started off the show, Emergence. We started off with Matt Cardona, always ready Matt Cardona, with Chelsea Green in his corner versus Rohit Raju with Shera in his corner. And so to start off the match, we had Raju. He kept avoiding Matt Cardona. And so we had a death machine chant from the crowd that was aimed towards Cardona. And so Raju, he tried to use his speed against Cardona, but Cardona, he had took him. You know, he had caught him. And so, yeah, we had the always ready chant from the crowd. So the crowd started chanting always ready. And so, yeah, we had a drop kick to Raju, followed up by a big boot to Raju outside the ring. And so at one point, Cardona and Shera, they were going back and forth. They were arguing in each other's faces. And so at one point, man, we had Rohit Raju. He had pulled the ring skirt open, and so Cardona, his leg had got caught in between the skirt and the ring apron. So that had to hurt, man. He could have tore a ligament in his knee. He could have torn something in his knee or his leg, man. And at that point, man, when he landed, I thought he was legit hurt. You know, but yeah, of course he's okay. But yeah, I thought he was legit hurt, man. And so yeah, Shera, he had took out Cardona during this match behind the referee's back, and so that's when Rohit Raju he took control of the match, and so yeah, so Rohit Raju he took control of the match. We had a neck breaker to Raju to create some space, and so again both of these guys they were going back and forth with strikes, and then Cardona hit a flapjack to Raju, and so we had a combination of moves to Cardona, and he kicked out of all those moves, and so Raju he went for a cannonball and he missed. And so Cardona he hit the reboot or the broski boot to Raju and he kicks out. And so Cardona or Raju rather, Raju he locked in the crossface submission move to Cardona. And so yeah, Raju he had a jumping flatliner to Cardona and he kicks out. And so at that point Cardona he was fighting back. He had a TKO to Raju and he kicks out. And so at one point we had Raju. Raju he tried to use the ring ropes. He tried to use the ring ropes as leverage, as leverage to pin Matt Cardona, but the referee saw it. The referee had saw his foot on the ropes, and so the count didn't count. And so to end the match, man, we had Matt Cardona. He hit the radio silence to Raju to win the match. So Matt Cardona wins. And so right after the match, we had Shera. He attacked Matt Cardona, and he hit a choke breaker. He hit a choke breaker to Cardona, which was brutal, man. Absolutely brutal, man. And so Chelsea Green, his fiance, Matt Cardona's fiance, Chelsea Green, has stepped in. She stepped in and gotten Rohit Raju's and Shera's face and just told him to go away, like, get out of here. You're not going to do anything else to my fiance, so get out of here. And so, yeah, we had a Chelsea's gonna kill you chant from the crowd, so I thought that was really funny, man. And so, yeah, man, so that was it, man. Really good match, man. Both of these guys are really great. Rohit Raju, Matt Cardona, really great wrestlers. And, now that Matt Cardona won this match, he needs to go after a championship. He needs to go after a championship. And I said this last night. I said this on the Impact review that he probably should be going after a championship, probably the X Division championship. And then right after the X Division championship, he can go after the World Championship. And so yeah, Cardona definitely needs to go after a championship with those wins, man. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had Tasha Steelz. We had a tag team match. So it was Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans, No Way Jose, and Fallah Bahh versus Decay, Rosemary and Havok, who are the Impact Knockouts tag team champions, Black Taurus and Crazy Steve. And so yeah, we had a Rosemary chant from the crowd, and we had a bite her face off chant from the crowd. So yeah, the crowd. I love the crowd, man. I love their crowd, man. It reminds me of the NXT crowd, the NXT of old. Their crowd. That's what this crowd reminded me of. And so we had a bite her face off chant from the crowd. And so Steelz and Rosemary they started arguing and stuff. So the match didn't even start. Well, the match technically it did start, but nobody was doing anything. They were just sitting there arguing with each other. And so yeah, so Steelz had tagged in Savannah Evans, and so Savannah Evans hit a big boot on Rosemary right in her face. And so we had a belly-to-belly suplex to Steve from Fallah Bahh, a huge one too, man. Fallah Bahh is a big dude. And so Black Taurus, he used his speed against Fallah. Black Taurus is also a big guy, and he moves very fast for his size, so really impressive stuff from Black Taurus. And so Decay had bit Fallah Bahh in their corner, like a pack of zombies. And so the crowd started chanting, "Taste like Bahh, taste like Bahh." And so we had a double underhook suplex to Rosemary from Evans, and we had a hot tag to Havok. She took out Steelz, and we had a sky high. We had a sky high to Steelz from Havok. So shades of D'Lo Brown right there, man. Our very own D'Lo Brown on commentary. So D'Lo he popped on commentary. He marked out for his own move. And so yeah, we had Havok and Evans. They were going back and forth, which was really good stuff. And we had a spinning suplex to Steve from No Way Jose. We had a hot tag to Taurus. He took out No Way Jose and Fallah Bahh. We had a double spear to end the match. We had a double spear to Fallah Bahh from Taurus and Rosemary to win the match. And so therefore Decay wins the match. And that was it, man. Really fun match. Really fun match. And very entertaining, man. And, the right team did win this match. I predicted that, the heels, like, Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans should win the match. Or if they did lose, like, I predicted that they would win the match. Yeah, I was going back and forth. I didn't know who I wanted to choose to win the match, but I chose the Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans. But Decay, the right team won. The right team won. Decay won the match, which was the right team. And, they ended up pinning Fallah Bahh. So that was the right person. That was the right person to get pinned. Either No Way Jose or Fallah Bahh was getting pinned in that match. And Fallah Bahh got pinned in the match, so that was the right move. And you didn't want Decay to lose either, man, because they're champions. Rosemary and Havok, they're Knockouts Tag Team Champions, so you can't have them lose either. So yeah, so the right team did win this match, so Decay wins the match. And so yeah, man, so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a vignette from Violent by Design. So that's Eric Young, Rhino, Diener, and Joe Doering. So they spoke about the sickness. They talked about the sickness and that the sickness had made them weak at Slammiversary by losing the tag team titles. And so Young, he has said that they will continue to fight. And he says that they have reemerged and no one can stop them. And so Young has said that just like the world, the tag team championships belongs to us. And so that was pretty much it with that. So of course that was another match that we had on the show tonight, the triple threat tag team championship match. And so right after that, man, we had Steve Maclin. We had Steve Maclin versus Petey Williams. And so we had Maclin. He tried to ambush Petey Williams on the stage, and so Williams saw it coming. And so they fought outside the ring, and then they brought it back into the ring, and the bell had rung. And we had a tornado DDT. Tornado DDT to Maclin. He kicks out at 1. So Petey Williams, he tried to end this match early. And so he had a baseball drop kick, followed up by a tope suicida to Maclin. And so Williams started chopping Maclin. And then Maclin, he ended up taking control of the match. He had a powerbomb to Williams on the edge of the ring apron, so that had to hurt, bro. And then he suplexed him. He suplexed him on the floor. He suplexed Williams on the floor. And so Maclin, he had jumped off the ring apron, and he had a diving elbow drop. So that was really nice, man. Really nice stuff. And then we had an angle slam. We had an angle slam to Williams, so shades of Kurt Angle right there, man. And so we had an Irish curse backbreaker to Williams. And then Maclin, that's when he took control of the match. And so, yeah, they were both slapping each other in the face. And then Maclin, he started unloading on Williams. And then we had a German suplex to Maclin, running knee to Maclin. And then a double underhook backbreaker to Williams. And he kicks out. And then Williams, he had a springboard codebreaker to Maclin, which was really nice. And then we had a corner running shoulder tackle to Williams while Williams was hung up. He was hung upside down. And so Maclin hit that running corner shoulder tackle. And so we had a sharpshooter. So Williams, he had locked in a sharpshooter to Maclin. So he locked in a sharpshooter. He didn't have it hooked in all the way, because he was planning on using another move. So he went for a crossface, I think it was. And so Maclin, he started biting Williams on the arm. And then, the referee, I think he used the referee as a shield or something like that, and he low blowed Williams. And so, yeah, to end the match, we had Maclin, he had his finish move, the Mayhem for All. That's what he calls it, the Mayhem for All, to Williams to win the match. So Steve Maclin wins the match. And so right after the match, Maclin, he had threw Williams out of the ring. He threw him out of the ring. And that was it, man. That was it. Good match, but why does Steve Maclin needs to cheat to win the match when he's been booked dominantly? Why he needs to cheat to win a match? That's the only problem I had. That's the only question I had. But yeah. So yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, he does have a victory over Petey Williams. So we might get another rematch because Petey Williams, he'll complain that he used, he cheated to beat me. So I want a rematch. I want a fair fight, but I want a fair fight with Maclin. So he might get a rematch out of that. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Gia Miller. She was backstage. She interviews Taylor Wilde. And so Taylor Wilde, she said tonight is a numbers game. The numbers are against her. Because you have Tenille, Dashwood, Madison, Rayne, and Kaleb are gonna be at ringside, or Kaleb and Kaleb and so Kaleb and Tenille, Dashwood will be in Madison Rayne's corner. So that's why she said that tonight the numbers are against her. And so while she had talked about Madison Rayne costing her a match last week against Tenille, Dashwood, and so she said that she's ready. She's ready for Madison Rayne despite the numbers being against her and all that stuff. And so that was it. And so right after that, we had the match with Madison Rayne, with Tenille Dashwood in her corner, and Kaleb too, in her corner, versus Taylor Wilde. And so so both of these ladies, they try to one up each other. And so we had arm drags, a series of arm drags to Rayne. So they were nice arm drags too. And we had a tope suicida to Madison Rayne and Kaleb. And so Dashwood, at one point, she had grabbed at Wilde's foot. And so Rayne, she slingshot Wilde into the rope at one point. And so both of these ladies, they were going back and forth for strikes. And then Wilde started fighting back. She had a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker to Rayne, and she kicked out. And then we had a ripcord turned into a cutter to Taylor Wilde. And then we had a German suplex. We had a German suplex to a bridge to Madison Rayne. So that's Taylor Wilde's finishing move. That German suplex turned into a bridge. And so the referee went for the 1, 2, 3, and Kaleb had pulled the referee out the ring. He pulled him towards he pulled him out of the ring. And so that stopped the referee count. And so, Taylor Wilde was distracted by that. And you had Madison Rayne. She had like a weapon in her hand. She was getting ready to use it. And so the referee took it away from her. And you had Tenille Dashwood. She got inside the ring behind the referee's back, and she took out Taylor Wilde. And then to end the match, we had Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne had rolled up Taylor Wilde for the win. So Madison Rayne wins the match. And match was good, but up until the end, I didn't like the ending of it. With all the interferences and all that stuff. Interferences and the cheap victory. You have Madison Rayne come out of retirement. You have her come out of retirement. And yes, she won the match, but she won by fluky, like a screwy finish, instead of just beating her clean. Like, not all heels need to cheat. Not all heels need to cheat to win the match. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. So yeah, we will get more of this. And so right after that, man, we had Gia Miller again. She was backstage. She interviews the Good Brothers, who are the Impact Tag Team Champions. That's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson. And so Gia Miller, she had asked Karl Anderson, how is Doc Gallows? Or she asked Gallows, how is he? And so, because they had a match last night, Gallows and Joe Doering had a match last night on Impact. And so Anderson, he says that Gallows is okay. He is okay. And he said that tonight they will retain their titles. And so Gallows has said that his shoulder hurts and he has a chip on it. And so the Good Brothers, they said that they're the best tag team. They're the best tag team today. And so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the Fatal 4-Way. We had the 4-Way Impact World Championship. Or, no, this is not the Tag Team Championship. Yeah, so yeah, we had the 4-Way. We had the 4-Way Impact World Championship #1 contenders match. So yeah, it was Moose versus The Inevitable, Ace Austin with Madman Fulton in his corner, versus Chris Sabin versus Sami Callihan, a draw. And so yeah, this was another match that I loved on this show too, man. But if I had to pick a match of the night, man, the X Division Championship is the match of the night for me. But yeah, so yeah, for this #1 contenders match, we had everybody that were going after each other. And so yeah, I could not keep notes in this match, man. We had pump kicks. So yeah, we had Moose and Callihan. They hit pump kicks on each other over and over and over again. And so Callihan, he had tripped up Sabin over the top rope. We had a Death Valley driver to Austin in the corner from Sami Callihan, which was brutal, man. And then Callihan, he had took out Fulton. And then Moose had took out Callihan. And we had strikes and chops to Moose from Sabin. And then Moose, he started asking for more. And then Moose, he had powerbomb. He had powerbomb saving over the top rope on everybody outside the ring. And so Austin, he had an over the top rope moonsault on everybody outside the ring. And so, even though he hit it on everybody, he still overshot it because his back had hit the stage light. And so, yeah, man, that was nasty, man. And we had a powerbomb to Austin from Moose on a ring apron. And we had a PK kick to Callahan from Sabin. And then we had a diving tornado DDT to Moose from Sabin, which was nice, man. And then Austin, he took out Moose. And then Austin hit the fold on Callahan. And then he kicks out. And Austin, he couldn't believe it. He could not believe it. Like, he couldn't believe that Callahan kicked out of his move. And so we had a power driver to Austin from Callahan. He kicks out. And so we had a pump kick to Callahan from Moose. And so at that point, everybody was going after each other, hitting their signature moves and all that stuff. And then everybody took out Moose. They hit super kicks on Moose. And so we had double pump kicks from Callahan and Sabin. So they hit pump kicks on each other. And so we had a "This is awesome" chant. Indeed it was, man. And so we had Sabin and Callahan. They were going at it. A power driver to Sabin from Callahan. Double foot stomp to Callahan from Austin. A Uranage to Austin from Moose. And a chair shot. We had a chair shot to Moose from Callahan. So Callahan hit Moose with a chair. And so that was the end of the match. So the end of the match, we had Austin. He rolled up Moose to win the match. So Ace Austin wins the match and is the #1 contender for the Impact World Championship. And so, yeah, man, awesome match. And, the only problem I have with this, man, Moose getting pinned. That's what I didn't like, man. I did not like that. Even though I knew that Moose was not going to come out as the #1 contender, why did he have to get pinned? Sami Callihan couldn't get pinned. Chris Sabin couldn't get pinned. It was either Ace Austin. Or Chris Sabin winning that match. It was either one of those guys. I went with Chris Sabin in my predictions. Because I would love to see a babyface versus a babyface in a championship match. Especially Chris Sabin versus a Christian. That probably would have been great. But yeah, man, they went with the heel. They went with Ace Austin. So yeah, it was either one of them, man. Because, Sami Callihan already had his shot and Moose already had his shot. So I knew that Moose wasn't going to win. I knew he wasn't going to win. Because if he would have won this match, he would have lost. He would have lost to Christian because nobody is taking that title off of Christian yet because he just won it. So yeah, you could have just pinned Sami Callihan, man. You could have just pinned Callihan because Moose right now, man, he cannot lose. He can't afford to lose. That's the thing. He can't afford to lose. And so yeah, man. So yeah, that was my only thing that I had about it. That's the only problem I had with it, with the match and everything. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had Gia Miller. She interviews Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers, with Sam Beale. And so Myers started talking about Christian and all that stuff, his match against Christian for the world title. And so Myers, he has said that, one thing he is missing is the world championship. And he said that he will become the new Impact World Champion. And so Myers has said that Christian Cage will walk out of tonight's match saying that I was in a ring with the most professional wrestler. And so yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, so that was the main event, the Impact World Championship match. And so right after that, man, we had the X Division Championship match. So this is the match of the night. This is my favorite match on the show. Probably the best match on the show was this X Division Championship match. And it was Jake something versus Josh Alexander, the walking weapon. Josh Alexander, who is the X Division champion. And so Jake, he overpowered Alexander. We had an ankle lock to Jake. And then we had a shoulder tackle in the corner to Alexander. And then a Northern Light suplex to Jake, which was really impressive, man. Jake is a big guy. He is a big guy, man. And to pick him up like that, really impressive. And so we had a body block to Alexander, which was explosive, man. Alexander, he looked like he ran right into a wall with that one, bro. And so we had a Death Valley driver, a Death Valley driver to Alexander on the floor, which was nasty, bro. And yeah, we had a "This is awesome" chant. Indeed it was, man. Indeed it was an awesome match. And then the crowd started chanting, "This is something." So this is aimed towards Jake something because his last name is something. And he said, "This is something." So yeah, I thought that was really cool. And so yeah, both Alexander and Jake, they were going back and forth with strikes. We had a stalling suplex to Alexander, he kicks out. And then we had a fireman's carry senton to Jake, followed up by a diving knee drop to Jake. And so yeah, Alexander, he hit, like, I don't know how many suplexes it was, German suplexes it was. They said it was 10. It was 10 German suplexes. And so he kicked out of all of them. He kicked out of all of them. And so, yeah, like the thing is, he kept going. He kept hitting. Like first, he hit like 5 of them, and he kicked out, and he kept going. Hitting the German suplexes until he got to 10. And so the crowd started chanting 10. And so yeah, so that's when Jake had kicked out. And so yeah, everybody was going crazy. Even the commentary team was going crazy. And so we had an over the top rope tope suicida to Josh Alexander. So that was really nice from Jake. And so we had a Falcon Arrow to Alexander. So I love the Falcon's Arrow, bro. Really cool move. And so Alexander, of course, he kicked out. And then we had an X Division chant from the crowd. And then we had a forearm strike to the back of Jake's head. And then we had a torture rack power slam, or a torture rack power bomb to Jake, and he kicks out. And we had an overhead belly to belly suplex to Josh Alexander, which was nice. And then both of these guys, they were going counter after counter after counter. Every single move, another person had to answer to it. And then we had a rebound clothesline to Alexander. And then Alexander locked in the ankle lock to Jake, and Jake had grabbed the rope. And then we had a C4 spike. So the formerly known as the Divine Intervention is now called the C4 spike, or just the C4, to Jake on the ring apron. So that was nasty. That was wicked. And so at that point, when he hit that double underhook power driver on the ring apron, I was like, man, he is not getting up after that. He is not getting up. And so he got up. He got up, and he made it back in the ring at 9. And so I was like, what? He made it in the ring at 9. And I was like, dude, how did he get up after that? And so yeah, we had a power bomb. We had a wicked power bomb to Alexander. He kicks out. And so to end the match, we had the C4 to Jake to win the match. So Josh Alexander wins the match and is still the X Division champion. And so right after the match, we had Josh Alexander. He shook Jake's hand. At first, I thought we was gonna see a heel turn, but why would we want to, like, why would there be a heel turn after a match like that? And so yeah, man, yeah, just like what I said this over and over and over again throughout the video. This is the best match on the show. This is my match of the night. My match of the night. And you know, I loved everything about this match. Both guys are great. You know, I always pushed for Jake to get that X Division Championship match. You know, when he should have gotten his opportunity already, and he finally gotten his opportunity. You know, even though he didn't win, he looked good. He looked good in the match, in defeat. And yeah, man, and the back and forth between those guys were really good, man. It was really good. And I love the way that Jake carried himself in this match. You know, that never say die attitude, doing whatever it takes to win. And dude, this was great, man. This is awesome, man. Great match. You know, and Alexander, man, Alexander is looking better and better and better every single time he defends that championship. He looks better and better and better and better. And you know, who's next? Who's next for Josh Alexander? Who is next for Josh Alexander? And who the hell is gonna take that championship from him? That's the thing. And so yeah, man. So yeah, Josh Alexander, he have a lot of contenders he can go through, man. A lot of contenders. That's why he's been dominant. So yeah, definitely the best match on the show for me, man. This X Division title match. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Gia Miller. She interviews Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo, who is the Impact Knockouts champion, and I forgot that AAA Women's Championship name. But yeah, she's the women's champion in AAA too. And Matthew Raywalt. So they talked about their mixed tag team match that they have with Trey Miguel and Melina. And so Purrazzo, she has said that tonight is just the appetizer of what's going to happen to Melina at NWA Empower. And so Purrazzo, she said that when they win tonight, you know, Melina is not going to make it at NWA Empower on the 28th. So yeah, so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the mixed tag team match. And it was Deonna Purrazzo, the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo, the Impact Knockouts champion, and Matthew Raywalt versus Trey Miguel and Melina in a mixed tag team match. And so yeah, so Melina, of course, she came out to the ring, she did a split, and so Trey Miguel tried to do the split, but he couldn't. And so yeah, that was really funny, man, really funny. And so yeah, so Miguel and Purrazzo, they were going back and forth. You know, that's the one thing I love about their mixed tag team matches. And so yeah, we had a cutter to Raywalt from Miguel, shoulder tackle to Melina from Raywalt, flatliner to Melina from Purrazzo, and then the heels took control of Melina, neckbreaker to Purrazzo from Melina, hot tag to Trey Miguel. He took out Raywalt, and he hit Trey Miguel hit like a combination of moves on Raywalt, which were nice. And so Miguel, he accidentally slammed Melina on the mat. So he was trying to slam Melina on top of Raywalt, but Raywalt moved out of the way. And, which caused Trey Miguel to slam Melina on the mat. And so we had a double team move to Melina from Purrazzo and Raywalt. And so Purrazzo and Raywalt, they took out Trey. And so to end the match, we had a roll up. We had a roll up to Melina. A roll up to Melina from Raywalt to win the match. So Deonna Purrazzo and Trey Miguel. Deonna Purrazzo and Trey Miguel. Deonna Purrazzo and Matthew Raywalt wins the match. And so yeah, that was it with that. And yeah, that's how you do mixed tag team wrestling, man. That's how you do mixed tag team wrestling. And I love the way that they do it. I love the way that they do the mixed tag team match. I love the way that they do it. Like with this, with WWE, the way that they do it, the way that WWE does it, the men have to fight the men and the women got to fight the women. But in WWE, the women fight the men and all that stuff, and the men can't even hit the women back. But in Impact Wrestling, you could do anything. You could hit the women can hit the men can hit the women. You can do whatever you want, which is why I love Impact Wrestling's mixed tag team matches that they do. And so yeah, but the only thing I didn't like about this was Melina getting pinned. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. Melina got pinned, and Melina, she shouldn't get pinned because she's the #1 contender for the Knockouts Championship, and and all contenders and champions should always look strong before a championship match, which means they can't take a loss. They have to win, or if they're gonna lose, don't have them get pinned. So yeah, but yeah, Trey Miguel, he could have took that pin. But yeah, man, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Gia Miller. She was backstage with Christian Cage, the Impact World Champion. And so Cage, he has said that he works well under pressure, and he says that he understands what Myers is coming from when Myers has said, about being underappreciated and all that stuff. And so Cage, he has said that he will retain his championship, and Brian Myers is not on his level. And so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the 3-way Impact Tag Team Championship match. And so it was Violent by Design. And representing Violent by Design, we had Rhino and Joe Doering defending or going after the championships. So with Eric Young and Diener in their corner versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus the Good Brothers, who are the Impact World Tag Team Champions. That's Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson. And so yeah, I like with these matches, man, these multi-man matches, multi-man tag team matches, and multi-man matches in general, I cannot keep notes in this match. And so yeah, so Gallows and Doring, they were going back and forth. They were finishing their fight that they had on last night's show. We had a suplex. We had a suplex to Mac from Doring, an explosive one too. Because both guys are big. And we had a double team move to Rhino from Mac and Swann. And we had a body slam follow up by a back elbow drop to Swann from Joe Doring, which was nice. And so we had a hot tag to Willie Mack. He took out everybody. And so Mack, he had a Samoan drop to Karl Anderson, follow up by a standing moonsault. So that was nice too, man. And we had a stunner. We had a stunner to Anderson from Mack. And then Rhino at one point, Mack, he was going on the top rope. He was about to hit the frog splash. He called it the bullfrog splash. And so Rhino, he had knocked Mack off the top rope. And so Mack, he had landed nasty. He landed nasty outside the ring. And so Rhino, he went for the gore. And then Gallows had went right after Rhino. And Rhino had took out Gallows. And so to end the match, we had Anderson. Anderson had rolled up Rhino for the win. So the Good Brothers win the match and are still the Impact World Tag Team Champions. And so yeah, so right after the match, man, right after the match, Violent by Design, they were not happy. They were not happy with Rhino because this is the second time. This is the second time he got pinned when they were going after those tag team titles. The first time they lost the championships, Rhino was pinned, and now he got pinned again. He got pinned again. So yeah, so they weren't happy with Rhino. They were not happy with Rhino, and they had this disgusted look on their face. Eric Young was screaming in Rhino's face, like saying like, what happened? What happened? And so yeah, they were talking to Rhino and everything. The crowd cheered for Rhino, chanting "Gore, Gore, Gore." And then Violent by Design had said that, told the crowd to shut up and all that stuff. Don't listen to the crowd. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. So what they're gonna do with Rhino? He probably gonna get beat. He's probably gonna get beat. The same thing that they did with Diener when Joe Doering had whipped him. I think with a belt or something like that. They might do the same thing with Rhino. So yeah. So yeah. So that was pretty much it with the match. And so right after that, man, we had the main event. And it was for the Impact World Championship. And it was Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler. Brian Myers with Sam Beale in his corner versus Christian Cage, who is the Impact World Champion. So yeah, so both of these guys, they were filling each other out. We had a reverse DDT to Myers, and then Myers, he avoided the spear. And then we had chops to Myers outside the ring. And then Sam Beale, he got involved in the match as well. So he gave a cheap shot to Christian Cage from behind and all that stuff. And so Christian, he had grabbed up Sam Beale's notes and he ripped it in half. He tore it to shreds. And so Sam Beale started running away, and then he ran into the steel steps. So I thought that was really funny. And so Myers, he had slammed Cage on a ring apron. So that's how Myers took control of the match. And so we had an enziguri kick to Cage, followed up by a flatliner to Cage, and he kicks out. And so Myers, he had missed a diving elbow. And then we had Christian, he had a diving dropkick to Myers, and he kicks out. And then Christian, he went for the kill switch, but Sam Beale got on a ring apron, and so Cage took out Beale. And so Myers hit the spear. He had the spear on Cage for a damn near fall. That was close. So yeah, and then we had a tornado DDT to Myers, and he kicks out. And then at one point, Myers, he started using the rope as a weapon, so that's really smart. Great ring presence. And so Myers, he tried to go for the spear, but Cage hit the spear instead on Myers to win the match. Oh yeah, no, right? Yeah, he hit the kill switch to win the match. So Christian Cage wins the match and is still the Impact World Champion. So yeah, man, really good match, man. Feel good moment for both Christian Cage and Brian Myers. Because both guys are looked at as underappreciated and all that stuff. And, living in people's shadows and everything. People say that Brian Myers living in Matt Cardona's shadow. And they said the same thing about Christian being in Edge's shadow and all that stuff. But yeah, man, they main evented. They main evented a show for the World Championship. So yeah, so whose shadow are they living in now? So yeah, man. So yeah, Christian Cage, I think he'll do great. I think he'll do great in Impact as the Impact World Champion, man. I think it's gonna benefit Impact more that now that Christian Cage is the champion. I think it's gonna benefit Impact more because when Omega was the champion, yeah, it was good and everything, but he was never on the show that much. He was never on the show. Now Christian Cage, he will be on the show. He will be on the show. And Impact is a place that he made a name for himself, a big name for himself. So that's why it's gonna benefit him. It's gonna benefit him, and it's gonna benefit Impact. Like right now, man, Cage, he's not even needed. He's not even needed on AEW Dynamite. Like he doesn't even have to show up on Dynamite. He could just stay in Impact. He could stay in Impact and elevate that division, elevate that company. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be in AEW. He's the Impact World Champion. Even technically he's signed to AEW. He doesn't have to be there. He doesn't have to be there. But yeah, he is allowed to go to other companies though. But yeah, so yeah, that was it, man. That was it with Emergence, man. Overall really good show. Great show, fun show. X Division Championship match was the best match on the show. We had some great matches on the show too. I did question some things too, man, on the show. Like I would have changed a little bit of things. But overall, man, really good show, man. Great wrestling on this show, man. And so yeah, man, crowd brought it, everybody brought it, and yeah, man, and it turned out to be a really good show, really good show. And that was it with Emergence, man. That was it with Emergence. And oh yeah, Christian Cage versus Ace Austin is the next match for Christian Cage. So yeah, so that should be good. I was kind of going, I kind of wanted Chris Sabin. I kind of wanted Chris Sabin, but they had to go with a heel. So Ace Austin, he's not gonna win the championship, but you know that should be a great match. That should be a great match with Cage and Austin. And so yeah, man. So that was it with Emergence, man. And now let's talk about AEW Rampage, man. AEW Rampage, bro. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, which is a great show. Great show for AEW Rampage, bro. Oh my gosh. The one thing that people will be talking about after Rampage is CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. Like, dude, that's all I was thinking about. That's all I was thinking about on tonight's show is CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk. And just like what I said earlier, man, it was a feel good moment. It was a feel good moment for Punk. Feel good moment for Punk. And yeah, just seeing him come out there to the like come out to his music, the cult of personality and all that stuff, and to see the tears roll down his face, and him jumping into the crowd. He jumped into the crowd at one point. So yeah, man, he looks fresh. He looks fresh and rejuvenated, man. Looks happy to be there, man. And everybody was happy to see him. Everybody in Chicago was happy to see him. Everybody online, every person, man, was glad to see Punk. Punk is back. He is back in professional wrestling for after 7 years. After saying that he'll never come back. After saying he'll never come back to wrestling, he finally came back. And yeah, man, dude, goosebumps, man, goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps still talking about CM Punk. That's all I'm thinking about is CM Punk. He's back. He's back. He's back. He's back. And man, and then another thing, man, I would have gave Punk since this show. Everybody knew that Punk was gonna show up, but everybody was still going crazy that Punk showed up. You know, it was just so great to see him, man. It was just so great to see CM Punk, man. So great to see him. And so yeah, man, Punk, he started off the show. He started off the show, and he grabbed the mic. He came out to the ring, cult personality. You had people in the crowd crying. You know, Punk was crying. He had teary eyed. And so yeah, he went in the ring. He had challenged Darby Allin to a match at All Out and everything. And he talked about his time in Ring of Honor and WWE. You know, he signed in WWE in 2005. So yeah, so he left Ring of Honor. He started crying when he left Ring of Honor and went to WWE. And you know, when he went to WWE, that's when he, left professional wrestling and everything. And so he said in August 2021 or 2021 rather, in August 2021, he came back to professional wrestling, and he's here. He's here. He's here to stay. And so he said that he's back for the young people. You know, he want to mix it up with the guys in the back. He has a score to settle with everybody in the back. And he name dropped Darby Allin. He name dropped Darby Allin. So Darby Allin is his first target. And everybody and their mama knew that Darby Allin was his first target because Darby Allin had mentioned the best in the world. And CM Punk is the only person in professional wrestling that calls himself the best in the world. And so, yeah, so he called Darby Allin. And so Darby Allin and Sting, they showed up in the stage rafters or in the rafters. And so that's when Punk had challenged him to a championship match. Not a championship match, but a match at All Out. And so, yeah, that was it with that, man. And so Punk, he had told the crowd to grab a free ice cream on him. And people actually got a free ice cream at the venue. And so, yeah, so crowd was cheering on CM Punk, singing along to his theme music and everything. Man, this is great, man. Absolutely great. The best thing on the show. The best thing that happened this year, man, in professional wrestling, CM Punk coming back. CM Punk showing up. Now it's Daniel Bryan's turn, man. Man, CM Punk versus Darby Allin at All Out, bro. Take my money, man. Take all of it. Take all of it, man. I can't wait for this match. I'm already sold. I'm already buying a pay-per-view anyway, man. You already got me sold. Now we seeing a CM Punk versus a Darby Allin match. Come on, man. What better? What better can you get? What better? But yeah, man, that was it, man. But yeah, as the matches go, man, I could not focus on the matches, man. All I was thinking about was CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk is the only thing that people will be talking about after Rampage. CM Punk. CM Punk was trending. He was trending before the show even started. He was trending all week. You know, he was trending these past few weeks. Like every single day, he's been trending. So yeah, man, I'm just so excited, man. I'm excited to see CM Punk, man. I am so excited to see CM Punk. I just have a laundry. I just have a laundry list, a long list. I have a long list of guys that I want to see Punk in the ring with, man. Like, dude, I feel like a kid in a candy shop, man. You know, just seeing Punk mix it up with some of those guys in the back. You know, I love to see a Punk versus an MJF. You know, a Punk versus a Darby, Punk versus a Sammy Guevara, a Punk versus a Aleister Black or Malachi Black, whatever you want to call him. You know, Punk versus anybody, man. Anybody there. Put Punk in the ring with him. Punk versus Omega. Punk versus a Pac. Punk versus Andrade. Punk versus a Phoenix. Punk versus a Pentagon Jr. Oh my gosh, man. I can go on all day. I can go on all day. Put Punk in the ring with somebody, man. Right at the Derby, man. Line him up. Line him up with guys, man. And just have him in the ring with Punk. But yeah, man. That was it with that, man. Absolutely love this, man. Love this. I love this. So yeah, man. I just can't wait to see more of Punk, man. I just cannot wait to see more of CM Punk. So yeah, man. So that was it with that. So yeah. So right after that, we had Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. They were backstage, so that's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt. They were backstage. They spoke. So Christian Cage, we just saw him on Emergence. So yeah, so Christian Cage, he said that the Jurassic Express, they will win the tournament, the Eliminator tournament, and will go on to All Out to face the Young Bucks for the tag team titles in a steel cage match and take the titles from the Bucks. And so Cage, he has said that he will beat Omega. He will beat Omega at All Out and have all the gold. And so yeah, not gonna happen. You're not gonna beat Omega. You already have your Impact World Championship, and that's all you're gonna win. You know, the Impact World Championship. You're not gonna win the AEW World Championship. So yeah, so that was it with that. And so right after that, we had our first match of the night, man, and it was the World Tag Team Eliminator Tournament semifinals. And so it was Private Party. That's Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn with Matt Hardy in their corner versus the Jurassic Express. That's Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus with Marco Stunt in their corner. And so yeah, so the Bucks that came out, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, AEW World Tag Team Champions, came out to get a closer look. So they came out with Brandon Cutler too. And so Cassidy and Jungle Boy, they used their speed against each other. And then Private Party, they double teamed Jungle Boy. And then Private Party, they took control of the match during the commercial break. Picture in picture, of course. And then, oh my, this is probably the spot of the match, man. Or one of the spots of the match. You had a Canadian Destroyer. We had a Canadian Destroyer to Jungle Boy off of Luchasaurus's back. So Isaiah Cassidy hit a Canadian Destroyer on Jungle Boy right off of Luchasaurus's shoulders. So that was nice. That was nasty. It was nice and nasty at the same time. You know, beautiful in execution. And you know, the bad landing, a nasty landing for Jungle Boy. You know, because Luchasaurus is a tall guy, and the height off of that Canadian Destroyer, and you land on your head, the top of your head, man. Oh, yeah, it has to suck for Jungle Boy. And so yeah, we had a shooting star press the Luchasaurus off the top rope from Quinn, so that was also nice, man. And then Matt Hardy, he took out Marco Stunt, and then Jungle Boy took out Matt Hardy. And so Isaiah Cassidy, he rolled up Jungle Boy. You know, he rolled him up too much because you saw his ass. You know, you saw his ass crack. And so yeah, we had a tornado DDT to Isaiah Cassidy from Jungle Boy, which is very nice. And so we had the Jurassic Express to win the match. They hit that finishing move. I think they call it the Jurassic Express to Mark Quinn to win the match. So Jurassic Express wins the match and will advance to the next round in the tournament. I believe it's the finals. Yeah, they'll be in the finals. So yeah, man. So that was it. Really great match to start off the show. You know, right after the Punk stuff. You know, they were on fire, man. Everybody was on fire tonight, man. And you know, just like the AEW matches, man, the AEW matches are so fast paced, man. It is hard to keep notes or take notes. And so yeah, so that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had Kenny by God Omega, who is the AEW World Champion and a Triple A Mega Heavyweight Champion, I believe. And yeah, is he still the Triple A Mega Heavyweight Champion? I think he is. So yeah, Kenny Omega with Don Callis, the Invisible Hand, and Michael Nakazawa. They were backstage. They spoke. Well, Kenny Omega and Don Callis did. And so Omega has said that Cage had ruined everything for him, you know, by taking his title and everything from Rampage. And Rampage was supposed to be all about him. And Christian Cage ruined it. And so Omega, he has said that he will retire Christian Cage at All Out. And, you know, when he does that, you know, Cage will wish that he did stay retired for 7 years. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Jade Cargill with Smart Mark Sterling versus Kiera Hogan. And so, yeah, this is a squash match, and I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact it was a squash match. You know, Kiera Hogan, she came from Impact Wrestling, man. She was really good in Impact Wrestling. You have a job out to Jade Cargill, man. And so, yeah, Hogan got some offense in. Cargill used her power against Hogan. And then, you know, Cargill hit her finishing move, the Jaded, or the Glam Slam to Hogan to win the match. So Jade Cargill wins the match. And that was it. You know, Kiera Hogan, you know, she didn't come out to no theme music either, man. She didn't come out to no theme music, and she got jobbed out. She was treated like a jobber or an enhancement talent. And Kiera Hogan, she is not an enhancement talent. You know, she did her thing in Impact Wrestling as part of Fire and Flavor, as part of the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champion. You have a lose, not lose. You know, just like you have a job out like that. You have a job out like that to Jade Cargill. But yeah, man, that was it with that. And so for next week's show, so CM Punk will be on next week's show. He will be in. CM Punk, he will be making his first AEW Dynamite appearance in Milwaukee. So they'll be live in Milwaukee, and so that's next Wednesday. And also we have the World Tag Team Championship Eliminator Tournament, the semifinals. So it's gonna be the Varsity Blondes. That's Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. with Julia Hart in their corner versus the Lucha Bros. That's Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix with Alex Abrahantes in their corner. So the winner will be going up against the Jurassic Express in the finals. And so yeah, also we have Red Velvet versus Jamie Hayter. That's Britt Baker's assassin. With Dr. Britt Baker and Rebel in her corner. And also we have Orange Cassidy versus Matt Hardy next week. And also we have Malachi Black versus Brock Anderson with Arn Anderson in his corner. So Brock Anderson, man, this is his last day. he will die. He will die. Malachi Black. I keep calling him Aleister Black. Malachi Black is gonna kill. He's gonna murder Brock Anderson. Oh yeah, JR said on commentary he called Brock Anderson Brock Lesnar. So I thought that was funny. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I think I heard JR said Brock Lesnar. So yeah, so that was it. Those are all the matches that are announced. So yeah, so the finals will be taking place on Rampage in Milwaukee. So the finals, so whoever won between the Varsity Blondes or the Lucha Bros will be going up against Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus on Rampage in the finals. And then the person that wins the finals, the winner of the tournament, will be going up against the Bucks at All Out in a cage match. And so yeah, so that's it with the card. And so yeah, man, so that was it. And so right after that, we had the main event. Oh, before we got into the main event, we had Mark Henry interviewed Jon Moxley and Danny Garcia with 2.0. And so, yeah, Mark Henry had asked him a question. Garcia has said that he's beaten Fuego del Sol, Matt Sydal, and he has to beat Jon Moxley. And so Moxley, you know, said that he was pissed off and everything. He was pissed off that, you know, Danny Garcia did what he did. Danny Garcia in 2.0. And so Moxley, he said that he's gonna hurt Garcia, and I believed it too, man. You believe it in his voice when he said he was gonna hurt him. And so yeah, it looked like he wanted to actually kill this guy. But yeah, so yeah, we had Daniel Garcia with 2.0 in his corner versus Jon Moxley with Eddie Kingston in his corner. So yeah, with this match, man, it should have ended quickly, man. It should have ended quickly. You know, this could have been it could have been a squash match. It should have been a squash match. Because Jon Moxley, he said that he was gonna hurt this guy like really bad. All he had to do was a paradigm shift, beat him up a couple of times and hit a paradigm shift. But yeah, but that didn't happen. The match didn't end that quickly. And so yeah, so Moxley he did took control of the match, and then Garcia started fighting back, and then he started going after his legs, and then Moxley ended up fighting back, and then Garcia locked in an ankle lock on Moxley. He grabbed the rope, and then Moxley hit a clothesline to Garcia that absolutely turned him inside out, and then Garcia locked in a sharpshooter to Moxley, and then Moxley he turned that sharpshooter into a bulldog choke to Garcia to win the match. So Garcia taps out. So therefore, Jon Moxley wins the match. And so right after the match, we had 2.0 and Garcia. They took out Moxley and Kingston. And so Darby Allin and Sting they came out to even up the odds. And so Darby Allin, Sting, Jon Moxley, and Eddie Kingston, they took out 2.0 and Garcia. And so yeah, man. So that was it. That was it with the main event, and that was it with Rampage. That was it with Rampage. And so yeah, man. Yeah, overall, man, awesome show. No pun intended to my show. It was an awesome show. Awesome show. And so yeah, man, CM Punk is the one thing that people would be talking about, bro. I would have gave this whole show. I would have gave this whole show to CM Punk. To be honest with you, I would have gave this whole show to CM Punk. I would have just let CM Punk talk for that whole hour, that 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Just let him talk. Man, that's what I would have done. That's what I would have done, bro. But yeah, man, I enjoyed both of these shows. I enjoyed Impact Wrestling Emergence, and I enjoyed AEW Rampage. Both were really great shows, man. Really great shows. And so yeah, man. So that was it with Impact Wrestling Emergence and AEW Rampage for August the 20th, 2021. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching this for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know my next video is uploaded, because I'm here every single week. Tuesdays for NXT, Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Friday for AEW Rampage, and Saturdays and Sundays for pay-per-view. So this Saturday will be a WWE pay-per-view, and this Sunday will be a WWE pay-per-view. So I'll see you guys then. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. Comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about both of these shows. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys on Saturday for SummerSlam. So we almost through. We almost through with this week, man, of wrestling. So yeah, man, I'll see you guys for SummerSlam, and I'll see you guys on Sunday for NXT Takeover. And so yeah, man. So yeah, and if you miss anything, man, if you missed my last week's review of AEW Rampage, the video is gonna be right up here, man. The video is gonna be right up here. And if you missed the Go Home show, before Emergence, the video is gonna be right up here. And the link to both of these videos will be down below in the description. So make sure you click these videos, or you can click down below in the link in the description. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love and the support for the show. Thank you. Thank you and thank you. And yeah, man, once again, I'll see you guys on Saturday for SummerSlam. See you guys on SummerSlam. See you guys for SummerSlam. And yeah, man, and this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.